This is Matthew Cratter from Bitcoin University. Today I wanted to talk about Binance pulling the plug on Monero. We just learned that Binance plans to delist Monero by the end of this month. This is something we've been covering on this channel for some period of time. We've been covering Monero. Just last week we discussed how Monero is such a hot potato that even drug dealers don't want to hold it. And that's because Monero is constantly losing value against better stores of value like Bitcoin. And if people don't want to hodl your coin can never develop a circular economy. And if your coin can never develop a circular economy, it's basically doomed. You can't just say, I'm going to hodl Bitcoin and use Monero as a spending tool. This might work for individuals, but when extrapolated to the ecosystem as a whole, it means that Monero is going to keep bleeding value against Bitcoin, which is what it's been doing really since 2018. It becomes this self-fulfilling vicious circle. So not everyone can hodl Bitcoin and then expect Monero to somehow magically preserve purchasing power or even to remain useful as a medium of exchange. You bleed a lot of privacy, as we've talked about in previous videos, when you move from Bitcoin into Monero or Monero back to Bitcoin. So the privacy benefits of a coin like Monero are much less evident, especially if it's unable, as it has been, to develop a global circular economy. I think this is well explained by the origin of the name Monero. Monero means quixotic destitution in Esperanto, at least that's my translation of it. It's a good reminder that getting delisted from exchanges, as Monero has been doing, getting delisted from exchanges is not winning. Losing is not winning. Less adoption is not a sign of more adoption. Losing purchasing power is just plain losing. And it's been showing up on Monero's chart for a long period of time and then really culminating in this bloody candlestick. If you're enjoying this video so far, I just ask you to subscribe. That really helps out this channel's views. There's a lot of denial in the Monero community, untraceable here, saying to separate money from state, we must first separate Monero from centralized exchanges. Well, that's succeeded. That's not exactly how you increase adoption. As I said in this tweet, Monero runs up naked to the walls of Troy and gets slaughtered, whereas Bitcoin is the Trojan horse that helps to sack Troy. If you're going to go up against central bankers, if you're going to go up against the government, you shouldn't just come out naked and say, I'm a privacy coin and expect me to take over the world. That's not how the world works. And people who think this have a very naive view of how to win battles. And instead, they're more reconciled to just losing. We have this quote from this tweet from inevitable.xmr, in which he was making fun of a previous video of mine saying that Monero lives rent-free in my head. I responded saying, maybe you should start charging me rent to make up for your loss in purchasing power. I want to quote a couple phrases from that previous video. You don't achieve global adoption by having all of your major fiat on-ramps and off-ramps closed. This would be less bad if Monero had already developed a robust circular economy, but it hasn't. By contrast, as we said, Bitcoin is the Trojan horse. I think this is something that Cicella Brimmer, excuse me if I'm mispronouncing your name, I think she's one of the more honest names in the Monero space, saying the Monero delisting is not good news for adoption. Most normies already have a hard time because it's not on Coinbase, Cash App, or some mainstream app. The last centralized exchange, Kraken, is almost a must for businesses. Less Monero adoption means less financial privacy in the world. I want to say and reiterate here, as I did in my previous video, that Monero does employ some very cool cryptography. The Monero community is intelligent, serious, and privacy-minded. That being said, as I said a week ago, and it's never more true than today, Monero is a dead end. Money converges to one. Money is a winner-take-all game, and Bitcoin has already won the money race, and it's gradually getting priced in, gradually, then suddenly, as we're seeing today, with the huge depreciation of Monero against the US dollar and against really every other cryptocurrency, especially against Bitcoin. I want to reiterate what I also said in that video, that Monero is the hot potato that exchanges and institutional investors don't want to touch. If you hold Monero instead of Bitcoin, you're effectively impoverishing yourself over time and removing yourself from the economic game, however noble your intentions. I would reiterate as well, you Monero folks are smart, you're privacy minded, you deserve much better than this. And Bitcoin itself could really use some of your talent. There are too few Bitcoiners also that care about privacy. So please, to the Monero community, come over, join the winning team. We could definitely use your help, and you could definitely use our help storing your wealth in Bitcoin exclusively rather than some mixture of Monero and Bitcoin, because remember, there is no second best. There's just Bitcoin. Bitcoin is eating the world, and it will continue to eat all the ship coins. Even the more legitimate projects like Monero cannot withstand Bitcoin's assault as the apex predator, not just of money, but of all assets. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe and like button. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I publish my next video. And let me know your questions and comments in the comment section below. Thanks all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.